But we have consulted and we will allow a small window for debate on clause 28. Before I put the question, I'll give a few people, and I will start with member for Mathare.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Even though this was one of the exempt, the non-exempt ones, Madam Speaker, this touches on the fuel levy, and it is a 100% increment on fuel levy and petroleum products. Madam Speaker, this will have an effect on the manufacturing industry, the cost of transport, cost of electricity, and generally place the Kenyans who are already suffering in very precarious situation in terms of their daily life. Madam Speaker, this clause should be dropped.
Other members, I want to note this is an exemption. I'm going to give 3 more members, and I will start with member for Embakasi West.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, as elected leaders and in politics, there's a principle of reciprocity, that the people trust us with leadership, and in return, Honorable Chair, we must represent their interests. Honorable Chair, when we don't do that as leaders, the people suffer. In this case, Honorable Chair, we've allowed the increase. The Kenya Kwanza government is proposing an increase in fuel that will amount to almost 13 shillings or even more in fuel. That increases the cost of living. The one thing that they always promised that would come down.
Order, member, 2 minutes is up. Please.
Honorable Chair, I don't think even a minute is over, surely.
It is.
Surely it can't.
Order, members. I know there are members who had proposed some amendments and they were dropped because of Article 114. So I will give Honorable Makali Mulu. Honorable Makali Mulu, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chairperson. Madam Chairperson, I had proposed that we delete this clause. And basically, why I was saying that, Madam Chair, is because my intention was to retain VAT on fuel where it is now at 8% instead of pushing it to 16%. The reason for this, or the justification for this, Honorable Chairperson, was basically because anytime you increase VAT on fuel, Honorable Chair, you will affect issues of transportation, issues of manufacturing, issues of production, more so in the area of even agricultural productivity, and will even affect electricity, which is source of energy, Honorable Chair. So my feeling is that this is not the right time to increase this tax. So with those remarks, Honorable Chair, my wish is that we retain VAT on fuel at 8% as it is now. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Member for Likoni. The microphone, please. Honorable Mishi, songa kidogo.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I want to say it is good we retain the 8% rather than increasing it to 16%. Madam Chair, the cost of living is very high. And if you increase the 16%, it means the cost of production is going to be very high. And if the cost of production is going to be high, also it is going to affect agriculture, because agriculture depends on machinery, and the machinery depends on petrol and diesel power, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, also the cost of transportation is going to be high. Right now, Kenyans cannot even afford to pay the fares from where they are to the working place and even to schools. So when you increase to 16%, it means the cost of living is going to be very high, because unga is going to be high, rice is going to be high, cooking fat is going to be high, and everything is going to be high. We are tired as Kenyans, and Kenyans are angry. They don't have money. Madam Chair, I beg my colleagues to be objective leaders and reject this amendment and return it to 8%. I thank you, Honorable Chair.
I would like to, first of all, give the Chair of Budget 2 minutes. Member for Kiharu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And I, of course, rise to agree with the Honorable Chair for Finance. Honorable Chair, in the year 2023-2024, we have allocated Kenya shillings 25 billion that is going to the fuel subsidy that was promised but was never paid. Honorable Speaker, we have also allocated Kenya shillings 250 billion that will be going into our roads. Honorable Speaker, I would request the other honorable members that may not agree with the amendment from the chair that they give us other revenue measures. Because, Honorable Speaker, you cannot have your cake and eat it. If you want development, and especially in terms of roads, this money has to come from somewhere, and that is the reason, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Junet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, please. Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, this is the most offensive clause in this bill, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, when you increase VAT on fuel to 16% from 8%, that is one thing that is going to make life very expensive for Kenyans. Madam Chair, I remember very well, when we were campaigning last election, Kenya Kwanza told us when they were launching their plan that the problem with fuel is taxation. We are going to look into taxation and we are going to reduce taxes on fuel. Now today, this afternoon, in a broad daylight, on the 22nd of June, they are telling us to increase taxes on fuel. What a paradox it is, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, let us agree on this one. We must remove this VAT on the fuel. Otherwise, I promise you there will be a revolution in this country if this one passes. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. There will be a revolution in this country.
Order, members. Order. Just sit down. Just sit down. Order, members. Order, members. Is that microphone better? Thank you. Order, members. If we agree to take 2 minutes, so many of you will speak. Just have your seats. Take your seats. Take your seats. Member for Kisii.
Hold on. It's my turn. Madam Speaker, thank you very much for this time. When we talk of fuel to cost double what it is now, that means even the agenda for Kenya Kwanza will not thrive. The country is already poor. It can't thrive. Let me tell you, the more you get, the more you shout, the more you open your mouth, the fact remains Kenya is poor,
Order.
but the borders are going to suffer.
Order. Order. Order, Honorable Toto. Lead. Order.
Hold on.
Leader majority.
Chair. You people, chair.
Order.
Out. Continue shout. Madam Chair.
Majority leader. Majority leader. Order, members. Honorable Muridania, order.
On a point of order. I'm helping you.
Majority leader.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
The leader of majority is on a point of order.
Honorable
Sit
Speaker,
down,
I am
Honorable
on a point of
Wanjala.
order, and I am sorry to interrupt.
Take your seats.
The member for Kisii County. But as Honorable Junet has said, this is one of the most important clauses in this bill. As CPM Body says, it is the backbone of this bill. And we're in this house as a debating chamber, Honorable Speaker. And we all have our rights to speak and be heard by our constituents. I just want to beg from Honorable Speaker, I know it may not be practical for every one of us to speak to this clause, but it is only fair to ourselves as honorable members of the National Assembly to be seen by our constituents to be debating on facts and not shouting at each other. I want to plead, I want to beg both sides of the divide, please, let us allow each other to be heard. Allow the member for Kisii to be heard. Even if you don't agree with what the member for Kisii is saying, wait for your opportunity to say yours, please.
Order. Order, members. Order. Order, members. If you shout, nobody will be heard. Honorable Toto, you had your 2 minutes. I am going to give the member for Homa Bay 2 minutes maximum. This one is Homa Bay County.
Yes.
Honorable Bensouda mwenyewe. Honorable Kaluma, please hold on.
I hold on.
No, go on. Go on, Honorable Bensouda.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I would like all of us to adhere to silence so that we are heard. And I support on this. The only thing I've ever supported, and I'm supporting on a statement that is positive from the majority leader, that we must keep quiet so that the Kenyans can listen to us, so that we debate objectively. On to the point. Kenya, in the first place, is a developing nation. We are not yet developed. I'm hearing noise.
Honorable Bensouda, I know you're a teacher, but for now, be the member for Homa Bay.
Yes, I'm given 2 minutes. I want to be very fast. Now, honorable members, we know that, hold on with your point of order. We know that the country is a developing nation. And when we are developing, we must be progressive in any issue that we do. I also agree that we cannot run this country without making strategies on approach. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, after we have taxed nearly everything, there is no need of pretending of executing and implementing a 16% taxation. Honorable Speaker, I want to tell you that this government talked about creation of employment to our youths. It is a very clear statement that most of us do not have employment opportunities, and the industry that must be supported, one which has been proposed by the Kisii woman representative, is the border. And border sector requires fuel. That is just one. Even the honorable members who are...
We have had you, honorable member for Githongori.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise to give my humble opinion on the issue of tax levy added on fuel, especially the VAT. Madam Speaker, we were in this house in 2018.
No, it's okay.
Those that are privileged to be here, you know from 2018 when we added tax on fuel, what happened to this economy. We are reaping from what we did. Madam Speaker, life is unbearable as we speak to our citizens of this republic. We cannot afford to add more levy on fuel because fuel is a catalyst of everything from production to marketing and to the welfare of the people. Madam Speaker, I want to be on record that right now our people are suffering and production, especially in our rural areas, is going to go to zero if we add tax on fuel. I therefore would want to say it very clearly here that if we want to revamp the economy of this country, adding tax on fuel is not the solution. The solution is empowering our farmers, our producers who normally produce crops that bring dollars into this country. We bring more dollars by selling more of our produce so that we can be able to subsidize on the government expenditure. And on that point, Madam Chair, I stand to refuse the addition of fuel levy tax on the...
Thank you. Thank you. Member for Igambangombe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker, I stand here today. Kagombe, this is the big ngombe, you are the small ngombe still.
You are out of order. Honorable Patrick, you are out of order. You have 2 minutes maximum.
Madam Speaker, I stand here to support this amendment, this clause, Madam Speaker, because, Madam Speaker, listening at the hypocrisy that is in this house today. Because, Madam Speaker, we debated the budget in this house, Madam Speaker, I didn't hear the other side of the divide reject even a single clause of the budget. They supported how we'll have electricity, they supported how we'll have water, they supported how we'll do loans for this country, but when it comes to looking at ways of raising money for the same, Mr. Speaker, now we are opposed. Madam Speaker, I've heard our friends shout to the Speaker every day here that no CDF, no Parliament. Every day they come here to shout no CDF, no Parliament. There is no gain without pain. If we want CDF, then we must pay for it. If we want loans, like in my constituency, Madam Speaker, I have a number of loans that are stoned today, Madam Speaker, that I wish to continue. So, Madam Speaker, I support, and this is progressive. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, you will note we cannot all speak on this matter. But before I put the question, I will give Mbunge wa Kilifi, then I will give Honorable Kalasinga, then I will give Honorable Bowen, and we will close. Member for Kilifi, Honorable Mbeyu.
Asante mwenyekiti wa mkao. Bi mwenyekiti, nataka kuzungumzia kipengee hichi cha kuongezwa ushuru wa mafuta. Bi mwenyekiti, tusidanganyane. Roma haikujengwa mara moja. Naona Kenya Kwanza mwataka kujenga Roma kwa wakati mmoja. Hamwezi kuongeza ushuru wa mafuta 100% kutoka 8% mpaka 16%. Ulisikia wapi? Nyinyi ndio mliosema Kenya haina pesa. Kenya iko broke. Nyinyi mwenda kuongeza mafuta, bei ya mafuta mara 100%. Hawa mama mboga ambao wanaenda sokoni wataenda na mafuta ya gari gani waweze kujikimu? Hawa bodaboda mlikuwa mnawazungumzia wataweza kufanya kazi zao vipi? Serikali msituchezee. Hii mafuta ushuru ubaki 8% au rudi 5 na si 16%. Tutawaramba na mtajua sisi ni kina nani. Hamuwezi kufanya Wakenya namna hii. Sio mliowaambia Wakenya mama mboga wanaenda sokoni kubeba mboga vipi na 16% ya mafuta.
Mheshimiwa Mbeyu, jumba hili lina mdahalo na ni kuongea sio kutupiana maneno. Tujaribu sana kufuata kanuni zetu. Nampatia Mheshimiwa Kalasinga.
Oh, thank you very much. Madam Chair, this is the time now. This is the time now. Kenyans have gone on televisions watching us. This is the time now, Madam Chair, that this House here, Honorable, must make a decision that serves Kenyans outside there. Madam Chair, as I talk now, me as a person who comes from Western, we cannot grind and eat ugali grade 3 without oil in our portion meals. If we increase this, Madam Speaker, we shall paralyze our stomach tax in Western Province. Madam Speaker, as I talk now, we have farmers in Rift Valley who uses tractors to plow their farms. If we increase the fuel, they are watching us now on televisions. To give a warning to this house now, I can even plead and kneel down that Kenyans must be given a freedom, and the freedom comes from here. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Honorable Bowen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I want to support the amendment, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, and I want to say, Madam Chair, this clause, Madam Chair, I want to support the bill, Madam Chair. And Madam Chair, the increment, the reason as to why we have a fuel subsidy, Madam Chair. This is not the first time this increment to 16% is before this House for the first time, Madam Chair. It's been there before. Madam Chair, this is the fuel subsidy was used by the Handshake brothers when they were giving out a fuel subsidy and they misused. Madam Chair, the government paid over 50 billion in terms of fuel subsidy. But this is the time we are saying, Madam Chair, if we have to achieve all the development we need, which is in the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto, Madam Chair, we need to have the 16% and to stop the fuel subsidy, which has been misused by the last
Majority Whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I agree with several members that it is indeed true that this is a very emotive topic, especially when you talk about the increase of VAT on fuel. But again, to be fair, even as we bash the proposal to raise the 8% to 16%, we also need to be honest enough and inform the public that this thing was passed in the previous parliament and then deferred to this session. But be that as it may, Madam Chair, be that as it may, Chair, it is important for also the House to know that the government has taken measures, several measures to mitigate the challenge of the increase of the 8%. The escalating dollar has been mitigated through the G2G.
Honorable members.
The issues
Honorable Amboka, you will not shout.
Zero
What is your
in
point
terms
of
of
order?
the farm inputs have been reviewed. So there are so many things that have been done. So you can't
Majority Whip. Order. It will be one person at a time. Please take your seats. Honorable Amboka, what is out of order?
Honorable Chair, we are the 13th Parliament, and we are here to look at issues as they come to us, as fresh as they are. Is the honorable member in order to mislead the House that we are looking at a bill of the past Parliament when they have just presented this bill that is retrogressive, that the bill that is going to hurt Mwananchi, the bill that is going to hurt Bodaboda.
Honorable Amboka, that is a point of debate. Majority Whip, finalize.
Let me finalize by saying this. For clarity purposes, I'm talking about deferring. This issue was deferred from 2018 to this season. But be that as it may, Honorable Chair, hold on, Honorable Mbadi, be that as it may, the government has taken other mitigation measures to curb the challenge of the escalating. I mean, there are so many things. You guys want us to operate on subsidy. You guys want us to operate
members, if you are on your feet, I am not giving you. Member for nominated member, Mbadi, what is out of order?
Madam Chair, we all know that this House is a house of records, and it is a house where we must be factual and truthful. When the Majority Whip misleads the whole country, and the whole country is watching, that the last Parliament passed VAT on petroleum products at 16% and it was deferred, that is not correct. The last Parliament, if he has forgotten, rejected the 16%. We only allowed 8% after the president's memorandum. There is no deferment, and Madam Speaker, Madam Chair.
Order, member. Honorable Mbadi, you're debating. Member for Finance Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And I know this issue has been extremely emotive. But I would like not to dwell in the politics, but look at this proposal from a finance perspective as we did. We have three types of VAT in this country. A product is either zero rated, tax exempted, or VATable. So for the VATable supplies, whether goods or services, all of them are at 16%, apart from fuel, which is at 8%. So what does that do for that particular sector? There's something you call input VAT and output VAT. So for all the players in this particular fuel sector, they pay input tax at 16%. But once they sell that fuel to the market, they sell it at 8%. So when they go to claim their VAT, they are always on a credit position. Let me finish. What therefore means, what it means to be on credit position, what it means, we heard you. Give me a minute to finish my argument. What it means to be on a credit position is that it is taxpayers' money that has been paying the remaining 8%, and that is a fact. So this 8% that you have been subsidizing by charging VAT on fuel at 8%, on for all the other supplies 16%, it means it is taxpayers' money that was paying this 8%. And this is what this proposal is curing. Members of the public told us, look at the other taxes that are composed this on fuel. And Honorable Chair, we looked at them. Honorable members of parliament who are here will know that the distributed equitably among all the 290 constituencies in this country to repair our maram roads. That is a fact. So we looked at what are the other taxes in fuel that we can reduce. And Honorable Chair, we looked at import declaration fee, what you call IDF. We have reduced that from 3.5% to 2.5%. We looked at railway development.